Yuta just did something that I previously thought would have been impossible. Spoilers for the recent chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, but Yuta actually just dismantled Kenjaku. There are tons of things I'd like to talk about in this video because this one feat has tons of implications and it definitely puts the story on a more interesting course than it was going before. Have we been overrating Kenjaku this entire time? Have we been underrating Yuta? What did Kenjaku mean when he said his will would be inherited? There are too many questions that need to be answered, and I'll answer them all in the best way I can and what I think is the most consistent with the story. Before we begin, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Jujutsu Kaisen content like this. First things first, let's talk about the feat. Is it genuine, or did Yuta only get this far because he snuck Kenjaku? I think the feat is genuine, and I'll explain why by just breaking down the page. Kenjaku notices Yuta prior to Yuta launching his strike and turns around to try to use his gravity technique. As Kenjaku turns around, Yuta runs behind him again and slashes his neck before the CT can even launch. The reason I think this feat is genuine is because of when Yuta launched his attack. If you look, he doesn't launch it until after Kenjaku already notices and plans to counter. Before that, all Yuta has done is appear behind Kenjaku. The feat would be less genuine if Yuta happened to start swinging before Kenjaku started to turn around. As for Kenjaku not noticing Yuta moving, what he's talking about is the fact that he should have been able to track Yuta due to his large cursed energy supply, like he says just before his fight with Takaba begins. But Kenjaku was tracking Yuta so he could run away from him, or Maki if need be. Translations vary on this, but Kenjaku does admit that he was running around scared to Hazunoki. Now, with the feat being genuine, I think it has a few implications story-wise, and I think Kenjaku's loss and the way it happened fits with the overarching theme of selfishness in the story. In chapter 239, I don't want to go as far as to say that Kenjaku is looking for a friend, but there are two things of note that come from his conversation with Hazunoki. That someone like him talks a lot, even to people who are already unalived, because he doesn't have many friends left due to how old he is. Then he says, to be his friend, you must never bore him and you must be his equal. These are things Kenjaku comes to find don't affect his interactions with Takaba. Despite all his knowledge gained across 1,000 years, or his long life, his jujutsu won't have an effect, if he's not careful. And due to the constant joking as well as arena switching, Kenjaku doesn't find him boring. At the tail end of their fight, they aren't even really fighting anymore, and Kenjaku is just really enjoying himself doing comedy with Takaba, even telling him not to cry or he'll spoil the mood, as well as saying he was hilarious on stage. I won't call this a shift in mentality since Kenjaku has never been the one to exert this selfishness to the max. That's always been Sukuna, but when Kenjaku is almost completely abandoning this is when he's at his most vulnerable and when he was inevitably taken down. On the flip side, Yuta, without the aid of Rika and simply using Takaba as a tool, similar to how Sukuna used Maharaga to get in close and cut Kenjaku with his own strength, wins the battle just like he said he would back in chapter 174. The panel of Kenjaku telling Takaba he was hilarious also is like the opposite of the one where Sukuna is telling Gojo he was magnificent, but obviously Kenjaku's isn't him winning or evolving like Sukuna, it's him gaining a friend. Remember, Takaba's technique takes things from both people's imaginations, and Kenjaku says as his head is falling that he didn't sense Yuta because he didn't want an interruption. Translations vary on that too. He either says Takaba didn't want interruption or that he himself didn't want one. I just thought that was cool and I should mention it, but allow me to throw a bit of an unhinged theory in here as well. What if Yuta copied Ui's curse technique to teleport, or even copied Todo's technique Boogie Woogie? If you look at where Kenjaku is standing after him and Takaba show, he's right next to Takaba and in the same position when Yuta pulls up behind him. Yet when Yuta slashes his head, we see it start to fall on the floor far away from Takaba while Yuta is now beside Takaba. This would be consistent with Yuta's previous position because while he is behind Kenjaku, he is not directly behind him and is still a bit off to the side, since as you can tell from this panel and Yuta's new position, there's a tree directly behind Kenjaku. The switching of positions has me believing that it's Todo's curse technique, but it could also be Ui's curse technique, I guess. If you don't believe that though, and think this is inconsistent art or something, I think this fight tells us something else, because it's the first fight in JJK for a long time that a curse technique was not deployed on either side. Not for lack of trying, but there was none used in this fight, and it was short, extremely short. I think this tells us a few things. For one, it's not necessarily that Geto's body is only special grade because of his curses, but I mean, come on, Yuta beat that guy up already when he was supposedly weaker than he is now. And while I do agree Kenjaku is a better sorcerer than Geto, it's still the same body with the same stats. Something interesting about this is actually mentioned in Kenjaku's fight with Choso, where when he's describing how Geto got special grade off of his many curse spirits, he uses the analogy that even dust can pile up into a mountain. Not to say Geto isn't physically impressive, but I don't really think anyone believed Geto was special grade off of his physical prowess alone anyway. I think this fight is a good representation of how a fight would go between these two if no curse techniques were involved. Like, to me, this kind of justifies Kenjaku running away from Yuta all this time, like he said to Hazanoki. Maybe if he can catch how Yuta is moving, he can activate gravity or something, but if Yuta happens to close in during the fight, Kenjaku would lose. This brings up a very obvious question. Have we been overrating Kenjaku this entire time? The answer to this is both yes and no. And what I mean by that is, let's take a look at what he's done. He beat Choso, beat Yuki, and that's really it. But to be fair as well, Choso is nothing important. Yuta literally one-shot him, and on top of that, Choso thinks that Yuji, fresh out of Shibuya, not even fully healed, is a demon god when it comes to fighting. And yeah, Kenjaku did beat Yuki, but Yuki was fighting with one hand tied behind her back. Her opening moves one-shot one of Kenjaku's strongest curses and punched Kenjaku's arms off. After being hit by the domain expansion, it was clear she didn't fully recover. Her hits never had that same effect as they did at first. Going back to her having a hand tied behind her back, Yuki gets told not to expand her domain because of Tengen. And while she might have still lost the domain clash since Kenjaku has an open barrier, the plan from the beginning was designed so that they could take down Kenjaku without Yuki having to fully exert herself. I guess what I'm getting at is that Kenjaku got to fight Yuki under very generous conditions for himself. I guess a lot of people seem to forget, since Yuki ended up losing, that when Kenjaku first got punched by her and knew her ability, he was wondering if he could take her down by himself. And the only reason he expanded the domain in the first place is because of how it seemed Yuki lacked confidence in her own ability to win a clash, which was instilled in her because of Tengen. If they did both expand their domains, and bear with me here, this is going to take a bit of assuming, but Kenjaku wouldn't just win instantly. The only reason Sukuna's open barrier was able to do that to Gojo's was because Malevolent Shrine attacks everything in its guaranteed hit range relentlessly while the domain is active. Kenjaku has to activate his domain sure hit, as seen here, where he's pressing the gravity on Yuki. If Yuki is pressing Kenjaku inside her barrier, he wouldn't be able to do this, and even if he did, it's unknown if Kenjaku would just be able to one-shot Yuki's barrier, as we don't know the strength of it. But you get the point by now of what I'm trying to say. The only thing Kenjaku has outside of this is Maki saying that, well, since Yuta and Yuki are on the same level, and Kenjaku beat her plus Tengen and Choso, that they can't beat him by conventional means, which they didn't beat him by conventional means at all. But leaving that alone for now, Maki has no idea what went on there. And if Choso's comments during Gojo vs Sukuna say anything, they kind of imply he was stingy with the details, since that was the first time he had brung up a domain without a barrier. If you want to be real with this Maki statement, it either means that had Kenjaku had access to his entire arsenal and had a sorcery battle with Yuta, he would have won. Yuki should have been able to beat Kenjaku on her own. Or 3, Yuta got stronger by just that much during the 19-day time skip. The first one in this situation is probably the most likely, but it's not necessarily mutually exclusive from the other two. The last thing I want to bring up in regards to him being overrated is this quote from Gege Akutami themselves when they were asked if Kenjaku could use cursed spirit manipulation to control Jogo or Hanami or even Mahito if he wanted to. Gege's answer is yes if they were one-on-one fights, but he thinks he'd have a really hard time with Jogo and Mahito. What this basically says is if they were jumping Kenjaku in true JJK fashion, it'd be hard for him to win. This statement is pretty telling for Kenjaku's abilities, as it's pretty hard to argue someone like Yuta would have trouble fighting two of the disaster curses. One could say this statement is in reference to absorbing them with cursed spirit manipulation and not outright exercising them, but that doesn't really matter, since to get them to that stage that he could absorb them, he'd have to weaken them by damaging them. I guess you could argue Yuta has an unfair advantage here, where he can fight as two people essentially because of Rika, and he's an anomaly who can one-shot cursed spirits due to being able to output positive energy. But with this recent showing against Kenjaku, you could argue he doesn't even really need it. And even then, these are just tools Yuta has that makes him a better sorcerer than Kenjaku. So, was Kenjaku overrated? I don't know if I would say he's overrated, but we definitely were more generous to him in our interpretations of his strength. As for the other question, if we've been underrating Yuta, this is also entirely possible. In the manga currently, Gojo has just died, and Yuta was particularly really upset by it. We know that Yuta is an elite sorcerer, or even more than that honestly, so turning negative emotions into cursed energy would be easy for him. Like Todo says, anger is a valuable trigger for a Jujutsu sorcerer. There have been instances where people have been put on their heels after provoking an inferior opponent. This would also be consistent with other statements like a Jujutsu sorcerer's growth not coming easy, and could even fit with the interpretation of Maki's statement I mentioned earlier, aside from Yuta getting stronger during the 19-day time skip. We also haven't had the best way to judge Yuta's power up to now, to be fair. In the Sendai colony, he couldn't unalive the players because he wanted their points, or more specifically, Uro or Ryu. Yuta comes in and interrupts a four-way deadlock between these players. The cockroach is a bad opponent for Uro, Uro is a bad opponent for Ryu, Ryu is a bad opponent for Druve, and Druve is a bad opponent for the cockroach. Due to this deadlock, these players wouldn't fight each other because their bad matchups would be there. Yuta comes in and off-screens Druve, then he makes light work of the cockroach. He also takes a thin icebreaker from Uro straight to his arm and mentions how it didn't hurt. To be fair though, it seems like the bigger thin icebreaker she did actually did damage Yuta. Ryu is someone that can't really be ignored here. He just has blatant feats on both Rika and Yuta of damaging them, even knocking pre-awakened Rika out at one point and hitting half manifested Rika with a punch said to be too powerful for her even fully manifest itself. You could really imply if you wanted to that Ryu was the only real problem for Yuta and that he would do the same thing to Kenjaku, although I wouldn't really say that because Ryu has to charge his Granite Blast as opposed to Yuta, who just simply swung his sword, and it's not like a Ryu punch is going to take off Kenjaku's head. Aside from that, Yuta has only caught W's. If you go by his points where he first pulls up in the Sendai colony, then he unalived like 6 or 7 players before getting there, depending on if you think Druve is added to that score already. Then he beats the cockroach, beat Uro, beat Ryu, beat Geto, beat Yuji, one-shot Choso, and beat Kenjaku. So he's either like 14-0 or 15-0, or in other words, he's 10 away from a nuke. So it's not like we were underrating him, it's just he was only being compared to people you can't really compare to anyone else. All his opponents in Sendai Colony only fight each other. It'd be like if Mike Tyson, same build and everything, never fought in the boxing league and only fought underground against randoms. It'd be pretty hard to say he'd beat any other heavyweight. The last thing I want to talk about is where we go from here with Kenjaku. Because the thought on every Jujutsu Kaisen reader's mind during these final chapters of the manga is that Kenjaku would be the final villain with his giant curse monster after he merged Tengen with humanity. Kenjaku, even on his deathbed, is still planning though. The editor's note for 243 says, on the brink of death, what is he plotting? So what can we expect to see from him? We know that the quickest way to increase your level as a Jujutsu sorcerer is a binding vow with your life as the trade-off, and if Kenjaku is looking for someone to inherit his will, Tengen is the best choice. Back in his inventory, we're told by Toji that he wouldn't unalive Geto because he was unaware of what would happen to his curses if he lost his life. Here is Yuta doing the exact same thing, unaliving Geto's body without knowing what would happen to his curses. Tengen, who is more cursed spirit than human, with control over all barriers in Japan, would be the perfect person to inherit Kenjaku's will, since they're the reason his plan was possible in the first place. This is assuming Kenjaku is already unalived or will be by this binding vow to make Tengen inherit his will. If Tengen does inherit Kenjaku's will though, it's sort of unknown how exactly they'd carry it out. While Tengen is allegedly pretty powerful, I doubt they're any stronger than even Yuki, considering they asked to be guarded by Yuki and Choso. So them beating Yuta or Hikari to end the Culling Games is kind of wild to think. Of course Tengen could end the Culling Games by removing the pure barrier, but that would make merging impossible, so that wouldn't really be inheriting Kenjaku's will. I guess I'll just mention, even though I don't think it's all too likely, but to be fair here, Kenjaku is just a villain, and this could be just bad guy villain bantering before his demise and not actually mean anything.